lesson size and practice on my read all the theory part. Is it enough or that teenagers comes again and
See,
good to have that thing or is it?
I got a question, but problem is somehow students think preparation is equal to syllabus completion. When I think about preparation, we unknowingly attach preparation is equal to syllabus completion. But the term preparation is meant to be getting prepared for the exam. But preparation is your ability to crack the exam. What is preparation? Your ability to crack the exam. Now, what does it mean? The highest emphasis on the examination. Irrespective of how paper comes in, irrespective of how you are on that day, irrespective of everything, in spite of anything, your ability to crack the exam. You are either prepared or not prepared. That's it. You are prepared or not prepared. There's no range of preparation. So first you have to get rid of the syllabus. We are done. Like today, that's the reason I even told Srinath that send all the books or dispose all the books. We are done. Preparation in the sense that syllabus completion is done. So next 10 days is all about preparing yourself and getting ready for those 9 hours or 18 hours or 15 hours of application. So it's a very short time to 10 days is a short time to prepare for 9 hours or 10 hours. The reason is my favorite example, Usain Bolt. To run for 10 seconds, he has to prepare for 10 hours a day into 10 days. And then you get an opportunity for 10 seconds. Now this is a kind of opportunity where you have 3 hours to communicate to the examiner and he doesn't understand any other language. Like whatever, see, I'm sure all of you invested 3 years in this course already. Like 3 years at least 3 years. Now the 3 years has to be reflected in a 3-hour conversation. Now when people ask it, why do you charge so much? It's not about that 1 month. I charge for the 11 years behind this 1 month. Like this is how we charge. Now, it's not about the 3 hours. You express what you have done in the past 3 years, which gets reflected in those 3 hours. That's a reflection. So, many a time, you might have prepared well, but if you are not able to synthesize that, concise that, and put that into perspective in those 3 hours, you're gone. So it's no longer about that 3-year preparation. Let's say, you might be wondering, I did not finish this chapter, I don't know this formula, I don't know this question. It's like, you're saying, out of this 3 years, I did not prepare for 1 month. Would it really matter? But out of 3 hours, if you don't write for 1 hour properly, would it matter? So that is how the focus should completely shift. It should be a significant shift where you're done. Like, it's the hardest shift. A lot of people don't get this shift until they enter the examination hall. The reason why people get stressed is they're so obsessed with books, all the time books, buried in books, and then when you walk into the real life environment, suddenly they're okay, this is different, like, this is different, I'm not prepared for this. So now, there is enough content for all of you to clear the exam, but none of you are prepared to write the exam. Preparation is not done in that perspective, because there will be a sense of intensity, to help you understand intensity, I keep saying, do not talk, or stay silent, or stick to deadlines, stick to timelines, and even these exams, the only purpose of this exam is we have noticed that you're wasting your time after 5 o'clock. And what happens is, when you waste time, when you sleep, that creates some sense of guilt. Because if you're sleeping with exhaustion, at least the next day will be shortened. If you're sleeping with a sense of unutilized energy, that will create dissent. That will create a lot of pressure. Now, if you notice, last 1 week, all of you will be a lot more peaceful. You're exhausted but peaceful. Because you're extracting your energy. There is no leftover energy for you to think. So that is exactly why you're losing it. But ideally, there are better ways to use the energy when you don't have a problem of misutilization of energy. So all of that, now we don't want to keep fixing. It's like patchwork. Something goes wrong, we fix. That is no longer going to work. From here, it has to be done from the perspective of the exam. So when you sit in those 3 hours, the examiner would clearly understand what you are done with it. As simple as that. Like when you have a taste whether something is done or not, you pick out a spoon and taste it. No, that's 3 years, let's pick out a 3 hour spoon and taste it. One question is good enough. Now, how do you approach this? Number one, some of you have 3 papers, from 3 papers, 2, 5, 3, 6, 3, whatever number of papers. So when you have all those papers. The first thing is think about your ability to stay focused for 3 hours. First of all, forget about the question. Do you have the capacity to sit for 3 hours? Properly sit in a particular position for 3 hours. That's it. Now, don't think about anything else. First, if that is not there, start working on it. Especially the 2 to 5 slot. Your ability to sit for those 3 hours matters a lot. If you're not sitting fundamentally, let's say the batsman the scorer runs, he has to stay at the crease. You just have to really stay at the crease. Right? If you're not able to stay, what's the point? So, first is your ability to sit for 3 hours. From tomorrow, be very, very clear that don't even take bio breaks between this 1:45 to 5 p.m. It doesn't matter what you say. Sit tight for the 2 to 5. Step out of the AC rooms. Sit in an environment which is closer to your examination hall. It is very, very important. Otherwise, you won't notice it. But see, body consumes energy for various physical processes, intellectual processes, emotional processes, and general adaptation. So, if it has to cope up, it extracts energy from your mind to sustain the body. So that is what I'm scared of. So that is the reason why get used to it. You might think that if I study in AC room right now, probably you might be productive. It's not about you being productive for this 3 hours. It's all about how efficient you are in those 3 hours. So that is one thing which you have to clearly work on. First is the ability to sit for 3 hours. One. Second, I see that because even today we're discussing it on today, it looks like we've done a lot of work, but it could have been done in 4 hours. See, if you have to compare yourself with some other student, you're doing good, no doubt. But then there has to be some level of metric there. When I talk about super student, and I have to think about my ideal student, how much time will it take to complete these 3 chapters. 5-hour work is being done in 8 hours. Normally, general students take 20 hours. See, I'm not exaggerating. Why is it taking 4 bloody attempts to clear 4 papers? It's almost like 6 months of papers, still they're not able to clear. Look at it. So, break it down. 6 months, not even able to score for 40. Now, what is happening is sitting every day, which actually means in 1 month you're not even crossing 7-8 months. 8-5, it's a 6 months or 40 months. 1 month you're not even crossing 7-8 months. So, it means there are a lot of dot days. Like you're sitting and studying 0 months. Sitting and studying 0 months. How pathetic it is. So, bringing that into perspective, it is not yet converted into a place where you're picking up 3 marks every single day. It's still not happening. But the best thing is you're in a track. Earlier the path was not there. You're not a track. A lot of things were loose. Now everything will become tight. Because of you did that because of studying in the ecosystem, all of you were reasonably sincere, and that is the reason you saw each other. You saw it worked, good but not good enough. So next part is you have to clearly understand your intensity. For me, probably 40-50 minutes is the maximum I can focus on something. If you notice, I think I spend 60 to 70% of my time in the dark room. Like, I have my own reasons at a personal level. Apart from that, I know that my brain gets exhausted because I continuously have to take decisions. When I have to take decisions for my own exam, it was not this loaded because I used to take this. Now I have to take decision for someone on behalf of the parents and you, and it's going to impact your career, and nobody is sure what is good or bad. Like, it's loaded. So every 40-50 minutes my mind goes blank. I just have to bring it back to the base. It takes a couple of hours or more, and then I come back and take decisions. That's what I do. This is my zone. I understand. As simple as it. Now, that is the reason people asked me yesterday. Student was asking why you're not working with 50 people. People work with 10,000 students in the institution. I understand my brain goes blank at this level, so I don't want to stretch it. Now you also have to clearly understand what is your capacity. You have the capacity to process the whole 100 marks syllabus in the next 10 days, the next 4 days per subject. You have that capacity. And what is your ability to retain? How much are you able to retain? Written 4 exams, it is stretched. So a realistic understanding is fine. The moment you know and accept the truth, you'll be able to clear. Because for me, it was clear. I could only complete 70 marks of syllabus properly. The remaining 30 marks, I only wanted 8 to 10 marks. That's all. Out of the 70 marks, the breakup was very clear. First one hour, attempt 40 marks, score 20 to 22. Second one hour, score another 15 to 16. Get this 36, 37. Third hour, like you just crash marks from here. Simple as. So the 70 marks can be easily attempted using 35 to 40% usually name the chapters. Right? So for me, my scope was very clear. It looks risky, but what is the bigger risk is, let's say, let's say you can carry a 10 kg log from here to Y. You know that that's your capacity. But then you wanted to carry 20 kg. You know that you're dropping it off in the middle. You know that you cannot sustain it to the last one. Then why are you even carrying it? Now, if you know that you're not going to sustain the complete volume of service, why are you carrying it? Now you're done enough. Until now, you're putting your capacity. Now is a realistic time. Right? At some point of time, you could always think more. You could always think I will do more. But now, it's done, right? How long can you keep accumulating? So you have to stop here. You have to focus on it. That is about the syllabus part. Similarly, the mind capacity. How much time are you able to realistically engage? It could be 30-40 minutes, not more than that. Once you focus on something, your brain works in a particular way, it just goes off. So you have to time your attempt accordingly. Let's say you have 30 minutes. Now what should you do? 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So in the first 30 minutes, you pick up only one problem, solve it to the entirety, and you see that out of 14 marks, you score 6, 7. So half an hour, I was able to score like 6, 7 marks. Next half an hour, another 6, 7 marks. If that is a capacity, 15. And then probably you could accelerate in your NCQs. So it's different for different people. The reason why I'm making you write so much exams is you'll understand the range of things. When you write only one exam, it won't be very clear for you. Now you know how much time would you be able to engage onto a particular question in terms of the time frame, and how much speed you can actually pick up in the first hour, second or third hour, and it's going to be different for different subjects also. It's not going to be uniform. So accept your current capacity, accept your stage, and then correlate with what IC is expecting, and try to work on it with a linear focus. The reason why I keep saying don't talk or don't indulge in discussion is because you can only listen to what's happening here, what's happening here. Right now when you're listening to me, you may not be able to, you're thinking, but you may not be able to continuously reflect on what's happening within. Now after this conversation, probably if you think calmly, you'll be getting your insights. So this next 10 days, it requires a specific sense of focus based on your observation skill. You have to observe yourself. It's hard. You have to observe yourself to understand what is happening, what can happen, and you have to redefine the scope. So this is something which you have to clearly understand.